When you're about to spend a few $100s on a laser level, the first thing that pops into most people's heads is the fear of buying a tool that looks great on the box, but ends up being a headache on the job site. You wonder if the range will actually cover the distance you need, if the battery will die in the middle of a critical layout, or if a sudden drizzle will ruin a day's work. Those are the real questions that decide whether a purchase feels like an investment or a mistake. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The Topcon SV2S is marketed as a high accuracy and value, dual-slope laser level, and the specs it ships with try to answer exactly those concerns. It's built for long-range operation, which in practical terms means you can see a clear reference line out to well beyond the typical 30-foot radius of many entry-level models. The battery claim up to 120 hours of operation on cell packs translates to roughly 5 full workdays before you have to swap cells, even if you're running the level continuously on a big job. That alone can make a difference when you're on a construction site with limited power outlets. And because the housing is rated to withstand dust, sudden showers, and even torrential rain, you're less likely to have to pack it away at the first sign of weather. Who actually benefits from those traits? If you're a professional contractor, a survey crew, or a tradesperson who regularly needs to lay out lines across a job site that stretches 100 feet or more, the SV2S starts to feel like a purpose-built tool rather than a generic gadget. The remote control that comes in the box lets you activate or deactivate the laser from a distance, which is a small convenience, but one that cuts down on the need to climb ladders or walk around the work area just to make a quick adjustment. In a scenario where you're setting the grade for a driveway, the remote means you can stay at ground level, keep the level stable, and still make fine-tuned changes without losing your reference line. On the other side of the fence, the tool isn't the best match for the occasional DIY homeowner who only needs to level a couple of shelves or hang a picture frame. Those users typically benefit more from a compact, battery-light model that's easy to pocket and doesn't require the extra steps of setting up a remote. For them, the added weight of cell batteries and the need to manage a longer range that they'll never actually use can feel like overkill. If your projects stay within a 20-foot radius and you rarely work outdoors, you'll likely find cheaper laser levels that get the job done without the extra durability features you'll never tap. Looking at the practical strengths, the first thing you notice on the job is the laser's visibility in bright daylight. The dual-slope design projects two intersecting planes, which is a huge time saver when you're trying to align walls, install drop ceilings, or lay out a concrete slab. Because Topcon rates the unit as Class IIIa with a power output under 5 milliwatts, the beam is bright enough to be seen in full sun, but it also stays within safety limits for indoor use. The weatherproof rating isn't just marketing fluff. I've seen a crew on a job where an unexpected downpour hit the site, and the level kept running without any hiccup, which saved them from having to pause and protect the equipment. The long battery life also means you can set the level, walk the entire perimeter of a site, and still have plenty of power left for a second day of work, a convenience that many mid-range competitors don't match. Every tool has trade-offs, and the SV2S is no exception. The most noticeable limitation is the reliance on cell batteries. While they give you that marathon-length runtime, they're bulkier and heavier than the lithium packs you find in some newer laser levels. Carrying a spare set of cells adds weight to your tool belt and can be inconvenient if you forget them. The remote, while handy, introduces another piece of equipment you have to keep track of. Lose it, and you're back to manually stepping up to the unit. Another subtle drawback is that the less than 5 milliwatts output, while safe, can struggle to cut through very bright, reflective surfaces like white concrete under a noon sun. In those moments, you may need to position yourself closer to the level or use a prism attachment if the model supports it, which adds extra cost and setup time. Real-world use cases help illustrate where the balance of strengths and weaknesses lands. Imagine you're a contractor laying out a new garage foundation. You need a level line that stretches across a 120-foot span.